Hello students, welcome to Fun Scholar, and today we are going to discuss about the chapter fraction and decimal. This is meant to be for class 7 CBSE board, but you can watch it from any class because this will be beneficial for everyone. Okay, let's start it. So, fraction and decimal. First of all, tell me what are the fractions. Okay, if I write this 2 by 5, so this is a fraction. Okay, we already know that, but why this is a fraction? Okay, so we are gonna learn it from the real life examples. Okay, so from the next slide, like if I say that a cookie recipe calls for 3/4 cup of sugar, but you only have a 1/4 cup measuring cup. How many times do you need to fill the 1/4 cup to get a 3/4 cup of sugar? Okay, so this is a real life example where when we cook or when your someone in your home cooks, then they need these type of measurements to learn about. They need this type of measurement just to mean about the fractions. Okay, so let it understand it a little better, like from these examples. Okay, so I have something in my hand. Okay, you can think it this as like an object which is combined together. Okay, but if I tell you that these can be break into 3 parts. Okay, now can you tell me, so it was one object. If I try to paste it with some glue or something, then it would become one object only. Okay, this will be a rectangular block or something. But if I try to separate them into 3 parts, so then each one part will represent a fraction. A fraction, so this has 3 parts and every one will represent one part. So this one will be like 1 by 3. Another one will be again 1 by 3. Another one will be again 1 by 3. So these 3 parts will together form 3 by 3, that means 1. So from this we can tell that every fraction can be turned into a whole number, or every whole number can be turned into a fraction just by multiplying or subtracting something from it. Okay, we will learn this more about in this chapter. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, let's play a video here to understand it a little better.
Let's draw a rectangle. In the second line, we draw the same rectangle divided into 5 equal regions like this. If this is the whole rectangle, then each of these are called its parts. Each box in here is a part. Now let us represent one part of this figure by coloring it red. This becomes a part of the entire thing. We say that it is a part of the whole. And in mathematics, we write it as 1 by 5 This one, and this one. 3 parts out of the total 5 are colored. Hence, this is represented as 3 by 5. These two are called fractions. There is one number on top and one at the bottom. The number on top is called the numerator and the number at the bottom is the denominator. You can see the numerator as the number of parts you have colored and the denominator is the number of parts the whole is divided into. A good way to remember this is whatever is down is the denominator, D and D. And these kind of fractions in which the numerator is less than the denominator are called proper fractions. What if all the parts are colored? Will it be a proper fraction? Can the numerator be more than the denominator? We will answer all these questions in the next video.
Okay, so done. And okay, so in this chapter we will learn addition and subtraction of fractions, multiplication of fractions, fractions as an operator of division of fractions, multiplication of decimal numbers and division of decimal numbers. Okay, so from lower grade we have already learned about fraction. Just already I have told that we have started learning fraction from maybe from class 4. Okay, the basic terms of fraction are, these are 2 parts. Like if I write like this, 6 by 7, the upper part will be called as the numerator and the lower part will be called as the denominator. Okay, so we can just tell from this example that if this is a whole number, okay, it has 4 parts, 1 2 3 4 blocks makes one whole kind of something, a whole object. If I try to denote it like a fraction, then I can tell that these 3 parts will be the denominator and this first one part will be the numerator. Okay, so 1 is the part which is staying with this whole part. Okay, so someone can tell us that these are 4 blocks and 1 is representing 1 block. Okay, so 4 will be the whole part and 1 here is representing the numerator is just a part. Okay, got it clearly? Okay, then we are going to next one. Example, the fraction of vowels to total number of English alphabets is 5 by 26. Okay, we know that number of vowels are A, E, I, O and U. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and we already know that there are 26 alphabets in the English letters. So 5 by 26 will be the fractional value of the vowels to the number of English alphabets. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, so here we are trying to know about what are the types of fraction. First of all is the proper fraction where numerator is the smaller one and denominator is the bigger one. Okay, then comes improper fraction. The numerator is larger than the denominator, just like 7 is larger than 5, 9 is larger than 2. Then comes the equivalent fractions. Okay, the equivalent fraction means that the fractions which can be cancelled to make another fractions, and the fraction and the denominator of that fractional and decimal value of that fraction are the similar one. Okay, just like 2 by 3 and 8 by 12. These two has the same decimal value. Okay, just like 1 by 2 or 2 by 4, they all have decimal value of 0.5. Okay, then comes the mixed fraction. This improper fraction and mixed fraction has a connection. Okay, all improper fraction can be turned to make a mixed fraction, just like this. Okay, and all the mixed fraction can be turned into an improper fraction. Just 3 whole 2 by 3, it can be turned into 11 by 3. Okay, there comes the liked fraction, when fractions have the same denominators. Here 5 and 5 are similar, so that's why we can say that these are the liked fraction. Okay, let's go to the next one. A mixed fraction to improper fraction. Just I have told you before that mixed fractions can be turned into to become an improper fraction. Just like 4 whole 2 by 3 can be turned into 14 by 5. We can just multiply 4 into 3 and add 2 with it to make it this one. Okay, 4 3s are 12 and 12 plus 2 is equals to 14. 14 by 3 will be the answer. Next one. Reduce a factor to its lowest form. Okay, so I have told about in the equivalent fraction or equal fraction, just like in this one equivalent fraction. So we can use cancellation to make to reduce the factors to its lowest form. Just like if I write like this 2 by 16 and if I like 6 by 48, these two fractions can be turned, these two fractions are equivalent fractions and they have the same decimal value. Okay, 6 by 48 can easily be turned into, if I divide it with 3, then it will be 2 by 16, the same value. Okay, so how? So I am doing it with a simple cancellation, and you may also know the simple cancellation. But what the original theory between this? Find the GCF of the numerator and denominator. Divide both the numerator and denominator by the GCF. Okay, if you want to learn it from the theory, then we have to find the GCF or the greatest common factor to find what will be the number where we should use the cancellation. Okay, just from 2 and 16 we can tell that from 2 and 16 2 is the GCF. Okay, because 2 can divide easily 16, so 2 will be the greatest common factor. Okay, so and from 6 and 48 we can also tell that 6 can be the also common factor. So what about this one, that 2 and 16 can also be divided one time more. So what it will be, if we divide it, it will make 1 by 8, and if we divide it, it will also make 1 by 8. Okay, so if we go by the GCD law, so then it will be more beneficial for us. Okay. Now reduce a factor to its lowest form. So reducing lowest term, 1 is the only number which evenly divides both numerator and denominator. Right, we already know that we can divide any whole number with the 1 or any number with the 1. Okay, and the answer will be that number itself. So here 16 by 32, and we can divide 16 with 2 and 32 with 2, it is giving us 8 by 16. We can again divide it 2 and it will give us 4 by 8. We can again divide it by 2 and it will give us 2 by 4, and again divide it 2 and it will give us 2. So there is 2, we are dividing it with 2, 2, 2, 2. We are using 4, 2. So we can easily tell that if I multiply all these 2's, so it will get 2 to the power 4, or you can write it like 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. So the answer will be 16. Okay, so we can just easily divide it with 16 to make it 1 by 2. Okay, so this will be the lowest form, and we can't even divide 1. Okay, so the last form of division we can use to divide it 1 by 2, that is 1, and it will give us the same answer 1 by 2 again. So we don't have to. So 1 by 2 will be the lowest form. Okay, the next one. You can read all this kind of stuffs. Let's go to the next one. Addition and subtraction of fraction. In order to add or subtract like fractions, we add or subtract their numerator and retain the common denominator. Okay, so here all the steps are written. You can read it and write and note it down if you like it, or we are going to see the real examples. Okay, the first one is saying that in order to add and subtract unlike fraction, we follow the following steps. The previous one we have talked about the like fractions. Now we are talking about the unlike fraction. Unlike fractions means if I tell you like 2 by 5 and 3 by 10, if we have to add this or subtract this, what process we should follow? So here they are talking about this, and why they are unlike fractions? Because they have the different denominators. Okay, that's why they are unlikely, and we have talked about it in the previous slides. Now you can read down all the steps, okay, and if you don't understand it, we are going to solve it in real time. Okay, addition and subtraction of fractions. Okay, so these are the small mistakes most of the students done. Okay, people generally try to add if we add like this, this is not the correct answer. Okay, they have just did it like this, but this is not the correct answer. Okay, and for subtractions as well, this is not the correct answer, or this is the wrong way to do it. Okay, so what should we do when there is what should we do when we have these kind of situations? Okay, so first of all, we will try to make these two fractions like 1 by 4 and 3 by 8 as the similar fractions. Okay, you can see that 4 and 8 has a connection. Like if I multiply 4 with 2, it will give us 8. So to make 1 by 4 as the like fraction, we just multiply 2 with the both part and make it 2 by 8. Now we can see that 2 by 8 and 3 by 8 both are the like fractions. Okay, so we can tell from here that we can easily divide it like this. Then we can just add this and make the answer. This same goes for the subtractions as well. Okay, here also they have also done 2 more sums. So 1 by 4 and plus 2 by 5. These fractions do not have the same denominator, so the first step is to change them. So they do. In this case, we can choose 20 as the common denominator. Okay, so there are so many people. We will also discuss this in the further, but here I am telling you that how we can choose that. How, if you tell me that how you will understand or how you will get to know that what will be the common denominator here. So therefore, to find this, we can just simply do the LCM of these two unlikely denominators or these two unlikely fractions. So 4 and 5's LCM will be 20, and we know that because 4 and 5 doesn't have any common multiple between them, we will just multiply these two, 4 into 5. So 20 will be the common denominator, which will be, we have to transform the given fractions to 20. Like 1 by 4 we have to make or we have to multiply something to make it 20, to make 4 20. So what it will be? It will be 5. And if we are doing it in the denominator or in the down position, we will also do this in the up position or in the numerator as well. So it will be 5 by 20, and this same goes also for the 2 by 5 as well. Okay, to make it 20 we are going to multiply it 4 with it. So 5 by 20 and 8 by 20, these two all become equivalent fractions, okay, or like fractions, sorry, not equivalent, like fractions, okay, and they have already got the answer. Okay, this is the process we follow. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, now multiplication of fraction. This one is quite easy. If the length of a rectangle is 8 centimeter and breadth is 7 meter, the area will be 56. This will be the simple multiplication. But wait, if the length is 7 whole 1 by 2 meter and the breadth is 5 meter, then what is the area? So 7 whole 1 by 2 can be transformed, like it's an improper fraction, it can be transformed into a this one is a mixed fraction. This can be turned into an improper fraction, which is 15 by 2. Okay, and we can simply multiply this, like 15 by 2 with 5. Okay, and what will be the answer? We can just simply, we already know that every whole number we can think that 1 is their denominator, or it can be turned into a rational number by taking 1, imaginary 1 in downside or in the denominator position of this. So 15 into 5 will be 75 and 2 will be the denominator. Okay, so this and this can be also turned into a mixed fraction as well. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, so the area of the, like this one, we can also turn this into a decimal number. Like we already know that half means 0.5, so half will simply represent 0.5 in this one. Okay, just like we have seen it here. Let's see another example. It's your birthday and 4 kg cake has been ordered. 3/4 part of it is finished. How much cake it was in kg? Okay, we have ordered 4 kg of cake. We can just simply just like do this one just like by drawing like this. Okay, like if you have ordered, you can just simply these 4 blocks as your cake, and every block is representing 1 kg of itself. And just like I have discussed this or make you understand this with using these blocks, everyone is representing 1 by 4. Okay, because these blocks or cakes can be distributed into 4 parts, and every part is representing 1 as a kg. Okay, so 3/4 part of it's finished, so 3 kg is finished, and the leftover is 1 kg, and this will be 1 by 4. Okay, got it? Next one. Okay, represent pictorially 2 into 2 to the power 5. Suppose there are 2 cakes. You cut them into 5 equal pieces of each. Take 2 parts from each cake. Okay, so we can just draw it like this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First cake is been cut into 5 parts, and the next cake is also cut into 5 parts. Okay, so we can just take these 2 parts, and we can also take these 2 parts. Okay, so it will be 2 by 5 plus 2 by 5. So the answer will be 5, 2 plus 2, 4 by 5, just like this. But we can do this with just a simple calculation, just like I have done this in the previous one. We can take imaginarily 1 as a denominator and just simply multiply these two and these two, and it will give us the answer 4 by 5. Okay. Okay, a fraction as an operator of. I have 30 pens in total, 2/3 of them are not working properly. Can you tell me how many pens are not working? 2/3 means 2 by 3 pens of total. Okay, we are saying it here that of as an operator. And what do you mean by the operators? Operators are plus, minus, division and multiplication. Why they are called operator? Because if we are adding something, then we are using the plus operator to add something. Okay, if I tell you that add 2 and 3, or I have 2 pens, you have 3 pens, how many pens are in total? So to do the total, we have to add them, and addition is an operation here which we are doing, and this operation will give us the different value from the another operation. If I tell you like I have 2 pens and you have 3 pens, so if we both give 2 pens, I mean I am giving 2 pens and you are giving 2 pens to someone else, so how many pens are left with us? That is 1 pen only. Okay, so then we have to do the minus, and here minus will be the operator. Okay, so this is called operation or operator, and we do that, but maybe we don't call this as this name. Okay, so 2/3 means 2/3 pens of total, so 2/3 and of, an important thing that of in mathematics, this of word will always represent multiplication. Okay, multiplication you can write down it. You can write down the word multiplication, or can write down its sign itself. Okay, so 2/3 pens means 2/3 into 30, or into or multiplication, whatever you say, 2/3 into 30. So we can just simply divide 30 with 3 to make it 20. Okay. Let's see a video. Okay, we have already mixed fraction into fraction. Okay, let's see the final video of multiplication. Okay.
Previously, we have seen how simple it is to multiply two fractions. Here, let's try multiplying 8 by 9 with 27 by 40. If you remember, the first step was to multiply the numerators and keep the product in the numerator. So we multiply 8 with 27 and write it in the numerator. In the next step, we multiply the denominators. We multiply 9 with 40 and write it in the denominator. The third step asks us to simplify this. Do not make the mistake of calculating the products and writing it as 260 by 360. That will just complicate the matter. Instead, look for common factors first. 8 and 40 have 8 as the common factor. 8 times 5 equals 40. What about the other two numbers? 9 and 27 have 9 as a common factor. 9 times 3 equals 27. So this directly reduces to 3 by 5. So 8 by 9 multiplied by 27 by 40 equals 3 by 5. As we will be using a similar technique to divide fractions as well, make sure you understand multiplications of fractions really well.
Okay, this video was quite smaller one, and we have already, I haven't played so many videos from here because we have already discussed this by using the examples. So this is just simply multiplication can be done like this process. Okay, the next one. So pictorial representation of 2/3 of 30. Okay, we can just solve this like this way. Like you can see that I have the similar color of blocks here. Here each box represent one pen. Divide 30 into 3 groups as denominator is 3. So in each group there are 10 pens. As it is 2/3, then 2 groups contain 20 pens in total. Okay, every box contains 10 pens. Every box contains 10 pens, and we are dividing it into 3 groups like this one. It is also been divided into 3 groups, and it is representing as the same colors as they are doing it. As it is 2/3, then 2 groups contain 20 pens in total. Okay, so every group is containing 10 pens, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 pens, so each one is 1. Okay, this one is like this. So it is representing the 2/3, that means 20 pens. Two-third will be representing 20, 1/3 will be representing 10, and 3/3 will be representing 30. That means 3/3. That means 1 will be the total, and 1 is representing the total 30 pens. And yes, it will be beneficial for us for the upcoming slides also. Okay, and these are just simple examples which you can try it. Okay, let me do one of them for you. Like, let me do it this one. 1/2 of 5 whole 3/8. Okay, we know that of means multiplication, and this one can be turned into an improper fraction. This one is in mixed form. We can turn this into an improper fraction and make it like 5 8s are 40. 40 plus 3 is 43 by 2. Okay, so then the answer will be 43 into 1, 43. 2 2s are 4. And if we try to make it as an improper fraction as well, mixed fraction as well, it is in the improper form. So it will be 10 whole 3/4. Okay, and 3/4 means, if you want to memorize it, 3/4 always represent 0.75. So the answer will be 10.75 in its decimal form. Okay, you can do this one also. 2/5 of means multiplication, and 64. We can divide 64 with 5, and it will give us a decimal value. So if we directly do this, the answer will be 12.8. Okay, and if we multiply this, it will be this is direct decimal calculation. But if you want to do this like in the fractional form, you can see we don't have a chance to use cancellation in this, because no one will cancel with anyone. Okay, so it will be 128/5. Simply we will multiply this, and then we have to make it a mixed fraction. Okay, so it will be like this. Okay, and 3/5 can be turned into like this. Okay, good. Let's go to the next one. Yes, all have been done like this. Okay, they did a little mistakes. 5 whole 3 by 8, it will be 43 by 8, not 48. Okay, so this can be treated as like a different fraction or different example. Okay. Okay, shade 1/2 of the circles in the box. Okay, we have already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have total 20 circles, and 1/2 of the circle will be what? Try to think it. Yes, 1/2 means 20 is 1/2 will be 10. Okay, 10 will be the answer. So we can just simply it will be like this. Okay, let's see this. Yes, they have drawn 10 circles. The next one, Vidya and Pratap went for a picnic. Their mother gave them a water bottle that contained 5 liters of water. Vidya consumed 2/5 of the water. Pratap consumed the remaining water. How much water did Vidya drink? Okay, the total water was 5 liters. Okay, one of them drank 2/5 of the water. So 2/5 means the answer will be 2. So Vidya have consumed 2 liters of the water. So how many water left now will be 5 minus 2, because total water was 5 liters. So it will be 3 liter water they have correct. Okay, so how much water did Vidya drink? Vidya drink 2 liters of water. How many water left now is 3 liters of water. What fraction of the total quantity of the water did Pratap drink? Okay, Pratap has consumed the remaining water, that means 3 liters of water. So out of 5 liters of water, Pratap consumed 3 liters. So Pratap has drank 3 liters of water, and that will be 3/5. Okay, this will be, and you can just graphically think it is like there are total if this is total 5 liter, okay, this is total 5 liter of water, you can think this. Okay, and 2 by 5, if I divide it like this, there are total 5 blocks and there are 3 blocks, and one of them drink 2 liters, so this means 2 by 5, and the remaining is 3, so remaining will be 3 by 5. So one of them has drank 2 liter water and another 3 liter of water, so they have drink like 5 liters of water. Okay, the next one, multiplication of a fraction by a fraction. In previous slides we have seen how to multiply a fraction with whole number. Now we will learn how to multiply fraction with another fraction. Okay, we have already learned that we can multiply fractions like this. Here 2 by 5 is a fraction and 5 is a whole number. Okay, we can just simply use calculation or use multiplication to calculate them. Okay, here the answer will be 2, but here we are going to learn about how we can simply use multiplication to how we can use multiplication to multiply two fractions here. So the process will be the same, and if you have understood about the multiplication with whole number with a fraction, then you will again understand this like this option. Okay, or you can cancel the numerators or denominators by dividing each of them with their common factors, multiply the numbers. Okay, here we can do the same. We can just multiply these two and can write 10 by 10 and then use cancellation to write down this, or we can just use cancellation. From this the answer will be 1 into 1, that means 1. We can use the both same process here to do multiplication. Okay, Sushant reads 1/3 of a book in 1 hour. How much part of the book will he read in 2.5? Maybe it will be like 2 whole 1/5 hour. Okay, so Sushant reads 1/3 of a book in 1 hour. 1/3 in 1 hour. Okay, how much in 2 by, like this one. The part of the book Sushant reads in 1 hour is 1/3. The part of the book Sushant will read in this time will be 1/3 into 2 to the power 1/5. We can just simply make this improper fraction, mixed fraction as an improper fraction. It will be 11/5 and then can multiply just like this. Okay, go to the next one. Provide the number in the box such that 5/6 into something to make this one. Okay, we can just tell this a little multiplication, like to make 550, what we do, we divide 50 with 5, the answer will be 10, and to make 660, the answer will be 10. So here the answer will be 10 by 10. Okay, the simplest form of the number obtained is 1. Oh, the simplest form of the number obtained is 5/6 will be the answer, if they are talking about this one. Yes, 10/10 is the, okay. No, 10/10, I mean what we have multiplied, that is they are asking that what will be the simplest form. The simplest form will be, if I take 10/10, their simplest form will be 1, because we can divide both them by 10. Okay. This one. Okay, now we have a doubt board. If you have any kind of doubt, you can ask. You can also ask in the comment section as well, or you can ask in the classes. Next, we are going to learn about the reciprocal of a fraction. We have studied about the reciprocal in previous classes as well, like in the rational number chapter. Okay, the non-zero numbers whose product with each other is 1 are called the reciprocal of each other. Okay, so they are just saying like this. 2/5. So we have to multiply it something to get 1. So can you tell me what it will be? It will be 5/2. Just we have discussed about this in the previous example as well. We can just cancel 5 with 5 and 2 with 2 to make it 1. Okay, so here what we did get, that reciprocal of 2/5 will be 5/2. Just if we flip the number, then we can get reciprocal of any fraction. Okay, so simply what I need to multiply with 5 to get the product as 1. Okay, and this will also applies for the whole numbers as well. If you are asked to find the reciprocal of any number like 8, so you can just multiply 1/8 with 8 to get it 1. Okay, So in fractions we can just flip this, and for whole numbers we also use flipping. Okay, just think 1 as the hidden number in the denominator position, and you can just flip this to make it 1/8. Okay. The next one, division of a fraction. Okay, before learning about the division, let's watch a video. Okay. This one is quite easy. Watch this one.
We have to divide the fraction 11 by 13 by the fraction 55 by 52. As we have seen before, we follow 3 simple steps to divide two fractions. First, we take the reciprocal of the second fraction. Reciprocal of 55 by 52 equals 52 by 55. That was simple. Now for the next easy step. We multiply the first fraction with the reciprocal we got in the first step. We write it as 11 by 13 multiplied by 52 by 55. Now it's a case of multiplication of two fractions. In the third step, we simplify this expression. We multiply the numerators and write it as 11 times 52. Then we multiply the denominators and write it as 13 times 55. Remember, we have to write the final answer in the lowest or the simplest form. 11 and 55 have 11 as their common factor. 11 times 5 equals 55. 13 and 52 have 13 as their common factor. 13 times 4 equals 52. The fraction has reduced to 4 by 5.
Okay, so what did we understand from the video? That in multiplication we can just multiply the numerators and denominators to simplify this, and in division we just use the reciprocal of division and multiply the first fraction with the reciprocal. Okay, so before learning the division, just keep this thing in the mind. Okay, we have already discussed about the multiplication, so we are not going into that. We will start to understand about division, so just keep it in your mind. Okay. Okay, so division of fraction, division of a whole number by a fraction. So here they are dividing 1 with 1 by 4. So what they have did, they just wrote it like this, like 1 by a 1 division sign 1 by 4. Then what we have to do, we have to, this one will be the divisor. Okay, we have already know from our previous classes or from the beginning that if I write like this, okay, this one always be the divisor and this one is the dividend, and the answer is the quotient. Okay, so we will apply this thing here as well. Okay, divide 1 by 1 by 4, then we can write it like this. Then we will just take the reciprocal of the divisor and we will divide this. So in these cases we, okay, no, I'm keeping it for later. Okay, we will understand this device as well a little bit better, but here just try to understand this from this example. Like if I write like this, 1 divided by 1 by 4, then 1 into 4 by 1. Okay, we have just took the reciprocal of this number, and reciprocal will be what? 4 by 1, and the answer will be 4. Okay. The next one, we can do all the sums like this. Just first take 6, then write the multiplication sign, and then use the reciprocal. Okay, now divide 6 with 2, it will be 3, and then multiply these 2, it will be 15. This goes as well for this also. We can just first write this by simplifying this mixed fraction into an improper fraction. It will be like this. Okay. Now just use multiplication to make this number multiply. Okay. And this also goes for the third one. I am not letting it write it here. You can do it yourself. Okay. Yes, they have already done this. Okay, division of fraction by another fraction. Okay, now we will going to learn about that how can we just learn about how can we divide whole numbers with the fractions, and now we will go further and learn about that how can we divide fraction with another fraction. Okay, here 2 by 5 division 4 by 10. Just take this example, 2 by 5 divided by 4 by 10. Okay, the same rule will be applied here also. Write the first one like the dividend and take multiplication sign and flip the number to make its reciprocal. Then use cancellation, 5 2s are 10, 2 2s are 4, then again 2 2 will be cancelled to make it 1. Okay, so the answer is 1 here. A car covers a distance of 8 by 9 km in 1/3 hour. Find the speed of the car. Okay, so this is the formula. You have to memorize it, or you may know it from the physics chapters in physics, or even in math, that speed equals to distance by time. To find the speed, what we have to do, we have to just know the distance and know the time that which it have taken to the time it has taken. Okay, so distance is 8 by 9 kilometers, and we know that by means division, and time will be 1/3 hour. 8 by 3 will be the answer. Okay. Now find the reciprocal of this one. Okay, what we have to do is simplify this one, and then we have to make the reciprocal. Okay, so minus 2 by 3 into 5 by 7, then plus 2 by 9 divided by 1/3, then 6 into 6 by 7. Okay, this one a quite tricky one. Doing this kind of operations, like where multiplication plus division, multiplication, even subtraction is present, we will just simply learn about this Bodmas rule. Okay, maybe you have all know about it. Okay, Bodmas means B for brackets, O for off or multiplication, whatever, D for division, M for multiplication, A for addition and S for subtraction. Okay. So first one will be done, that is division. So 2 by 9 and 1/3 can be flipped to make it like this, and the other ones will be like this. 3 and 9 will get cancelled to make it 2 by 3, and then we can also cancel 3 with 2. So the answer will be 2 2 the 8 minus 8, and here it will be 21. This will be the answer. Okay. Oh, sorry. We didn't watch the plus sign. Okay, if we take the plus sign here, it will be plus. So it will be 2 by 9 into 3 by 1 into 6 by 7, and this was a plus sign, not a multiplication sign. I have mistook it as the multiplication sign. So 3 and 9 will get cancelled to make it 2 by 3, and here is 2 by 3. Oh, sorry, we have also missed the 5 by 7. Okay, it's been done in the next slide. So see it from here. Yes. So they just flip this to make it 2 by 3, and then after division we will use multiplication to make it 6 by 9. Okay. Minus 2 by 3 multiplied by 5 by 7, then plus we will use 2 by 3 because 3 and 9 will get cancelled, and here this will be 6 by 7. Then we will use multiplication to cancel it to make 4 by 7, and it will be minus 10 by 21. Okay, just they have did this here, and the answer will be 2 by 21. Okay, and last we have to take the reciprocal of 2 by 21 to make it 21 by 2. None. Okay, a drum of kerosene oil is 3 by 4 full. When 15 liters of oil drawn from it, it is 7 by 12 full. Find the total capacity of the drum. So let's see this. So just if you go by this figure or the diagram they have given, just 3 by 4 full means separate the drum into 4 parts, 1 part, 2 part, 3 part, 4 part. Okay, now the portion 3 is full, like if this one is full, so the rest of the portion will be not full. So they have took out 15 liters of oil from it. Total part of the kerosene in the drum contains 3 by 4. After withdrawing some oil of the part, oil left 7 by 12. Okay, so the part was withdrawn. So the drum was 3/4 full, and we have also took some from it. It is 7 by 12 full. So the part we have took, that will get subtracted. So 1 by 6 is referring to 15 liter. Okay, so 1 by 6 of the total oil will be 15 liter. The total oil then will be 90 liter. Okay, we can just draw it, go by from the equations law to take the 90 liter. Okay, and if 3 by 4th is 90 liter, then 1 will be like 90 into 4 by 3. This will be the answer. The total will be like for 120 liters. Okay, got it? Okay, place value in decimal number. Okay, from now on we will the fraction is almost fraction is finished. From now on we will go further into decimals chapter. Okay, so before going into the decimals chapter, just we will going to see a video.
Look at the decimal fractions on the board. 70.45, 292.32 and 1.49. What do you think is common among 70.45, 292.32 and 1.49. What do you think is common amongst all three? All three of them have the same number of digits in the decimal part. 2, 2 and 2. Such decimal fractions are called like decimal fractions. Remember, same number of digits after the decimal part. On the right hand side, let's look at another set of decimal fractions. 12.46, 15.195 and 223.3914. Here, the number of digits after the decimal point are not the same. Such numbers are called unlike decimal fractions. It was easy, right? So let me ask you a very simple question. Can we convert unlike decimal fractions to like ones? To understand that, we need to understand a very simple concept. Look at the number 4.6. 4 is in the ones place and 6 is in the tens place. So this number can be written as 4 times 1 plus 6 times 1 by 10. Now look at 4.60. With the same logic, this can be written as 4 times 1 plus 6 times 1 by 10 plus 0 times 1 by 100. 0 multiplied by any number is always 0. So essentially, this value is equal to this value, which means 4.6 and 4.60 have the same numerical value. What about 4.600? It equals 4 times 1 plus 6 We can see that the digits after the decimal point are same in both the cases, but the integral part is different. It means these two decimal fractions do not have the same value. These two decimal fractions are not equivalent. What about these two? The integral part is the same. The decimal parts are 42 and 420. We had seen that adding zeros to the right of the decimal part does not change its value. So the value of these two decimal fractions is essentially the same. They are equivalent decimal fractions. What about these two decimal fractions? The integral part is the same, and in the decimal part, we have just added zeros, which shouldn't change the value, right? That's incorrect. Adding a zero before the last digit of the decimal part will change the value. So 0.05 is not the same as 0.5. These two decimal fractions are not equivalent.
Okay, so we have just completed the fraction chapter and I have started the decimal chapter a little bit. So from next lecture we will going to discuss about the decimal chapter. Okay, and thank you. Let's signing it off.